Alright, it took me a while to be able to do this. I've been playing the game for over 2 months now, and finally I think I can actually make a tier list. This is only for SSRs. There's no SRs and Rs in here, just because I still want some of my sanity. If I was to rank every SR and R as well, this video will be 45 minutes long, or even an hour, so I'm good. But be of note that lots of SRs are actually better than most of SSRs. This game is different than like Dokkan or stuff that like SRs and Rs are useless. In this game, lots of SRs are actually like super good. Like SR Green Gil Thunder is better than 80% of all the SSRs in the game. I'm not even exaggerating. So be of that note. But yeah, I already have done it. So just so I don't have any misconceptions of what I want to rank some people. And the most important ones I'll talk for a while, but some of the less important ones I'll just brush it off and say this is where they stand. But let me first explain the tiers. The tiers work as such. God tier is the best one, of course. This is for units that are super good in pretty much every activity in the game, or just insane at multiple activities in the game. So a God tier unit. As SS tier is for really good in multiple activities, or incredibly stupidly good in just one. S tier is good in multiple activities, or pretty good in one activity. A tier is good for a few activities. B tier is, it's okay, you can, and C tier is yikes. So yeah, so let's start. I'm gonna start as the order that it has here. So King is an SS tier unit. He's fantastic. He's really good, and he's free to play, so really good. Blue DN, Coin Shop Blue DN is an S tier unit. She's really good. I feel like she's very underrated. Green Marlin is an SS tier unit. She's very good. Coin Shop Bon is an A tier unit. Unfortunately, very dethroned from where he used to be. He's good, but nothing crazy. Nothing as he used to be. Meliodas, he's an SS tier unit. He's insane for any type of single target activity. Absolutely busted for any type of single target activity in the game. Not that great from AoE though. Golfer is a God tier unit. The reason for that is because he is insanely busted for every activity in the game. Every activity, literally every activity in the game, he's insanely busted, and that's why. Melascula, very recent unit. She goes in the A tier with Bon. She's good, but nothing crazy. Blue DM Meliodas is a God tier unit. He is he's probably the best unit in the game. Like, he's between him and Golfer to me. Golfer is only really probably the best unit in the game because he's good in every activity, while Meliodas is only bad in raids. That's the only thing that he's bad on, raids. That's literally the only thing that he's bad on. If not for that, maybe he would be just the undisputable best unit in the game, but he's just mad. He's just insane. Milim, she is an S tier unit. She's really good. I wish I had her. Unfortunately, I don't know when she would be even able to be pulled anymore. Rimuru, he's very bad. Slater, he's okay. He's good for the Red Demon, and that's it. The new Marlin. The new Marlin, I feel like I can maybe change my opinion later because she's very new. But for what I've seen of her, I've seen some Korean people using her, and I've actually read what she does. That's where I'll place her for now. Blue DN, she's actually pretty good. She goes to the S tier. Halloween Elaine, I was thinking of putting her in the S tier, but I am gonna dethrone her to the A tier, but she's actually very good. Blue Elizabeth, you can see here in the C tier, my girl. But Blue Elizabeth and Hawk, she can go to the S tier. They're actually very good. Gallant can also go to the S tier. He is very good. Golfer is a big yikes. Blue Golfer is a big yikes. Blue Hendrickson is also a big yikes, so you can come here to the C tier. Blue King, King is so sad, man. The two fat kings are so bad. They're just so bad. So they can see here in the C tier. The red fat king is actually much better. Lilia, she can see here in the SS tier. I was thinking of putting her in the God tier, but I don't think it would fly. The SS tier is good for her. She is just so insane combined with Demon Meliodas. Like, the thing with Lilia is that Demon Meliodas, he's really good. Like, even without Lilia, he's like super busted. But if you have Lilia, he's even more busted. So she's a compliment for Blue Demon Meliodas, and she's by herself, she's also a very good unit. The blue Bond, he can go here in the beats here. He's also good for the red demon. The thing is that red demon is not very difficult because you can freeze and petrify him. If it was more difficult, then maybe I'll bumps later in Bond, but like the red demon is so easy, there's no... and they're only good for that. That's it. They're only good for that. Green King, he can come here in the S tier. He's pretty good for a lot of things, but he's really busted on the Grey Demon, and that's pretty much why. And the Grey Demon is much harder than the Red Demon. Green Lilia, she can also come here in the S tier. I was thinking of putting her in A, but her effects are actually pretty nice, and she's really good on PvP. She's very underrated, I feel like. Counter Meliodas can come here in the SS tier. Counter Meliodas is so good. Like, he's... whatever activity you're having difficulty in, just put Counter Meliodas. You might have a good time with him. Valenti, she can come here in the S tier. She is only good for PvP, but she's really good on PvP. But the thing is that she's absolutely terrible in every single other activity in the game. Maybe Training Cave, she's actually good if the enemy is Blue Demon Meliodas. Maybe in the gold stage, if you use Blue Demon Meliodas and you're facing him, you can actually use her. But other than that, like, she's only good for PvP. But she's insanely good for PvP, so I think the S tier is good for her. The Glocks is very sad, but I think he's pretty trash. Again, just like Merlin, he's very recent, but I've seen a lot of Korean YouTubers using him. And I've seen him in the game myself, and I know what he does, and I think he's pretty bad. Like, it's sad. Like, Glocks is such a cool character, but they just shafted my boy. It's just how it is. Green the Ant is really good. The Death Pierce, I feel like I thought he was much better when he came out, but taking a look at what he does, he's good. He's just alright. Green Elaine, she can also go to the B tier. She's okay. Green Healer Elizabeth, she can go to the A tier. Healers in the game are good. And because there are units like Lilia and King that heal and are good in other aspects as well, it's very difficult for like Elizabeth to really be good. But with her ult thing, when she giving ult gauge to the allies, she can be very good for raids. So she's actually a very good unit. But in general, I would use other healers above her. Like King and Lilia, that is. Escanor, he can go to the God tier for the same reason that Golfer. But I feel like in the God tier scale, he's the worst one. Because Golfer is really good for every activity. Escanor also is very good for every activity in the game. Every single one. Literally every single activity in the game, Escanor is good. But he's not optimal. Like for raids, he's good, and you can fly using him. You can really do it. But he's not optimal at all. He's not optimal. But for Training Cave, he's insane. For PvP, he's insane. For PvE in general, he's insane. So I had to put him in the God tier. Green Grillmore, he's actually terrible. Green Gilla, she's okay. She's nothing crazy. Green Helbram, he's pretty good for raids, but only for raids, that's it. Jericho, she's pretty good. I've seen one of the people I have actually in my friends list use Jericho for the Crimson, and she does actually more damage than Demon Meliodas, which is crazy, but I would not give any raid stuff for her. I would not give SSR pins for her at all. Green Bond. Green Bond is interesting. I see what he does and he seems good on paper, but I've used him and he's not that impressive. He's okay, you know. Red Merlin. Now, Red Merlin was difficult for me because she freezes and that's the only thing she does. Like, she doesn't do anything else. She only freezes. That's the only thing she does. And she's only useful for Red Demon. That's why I'm putting her in A tier. And, like, she also, if you don't have her, you can use Gustav, and he does literally the exact same thing as she does. And he's a free-to-play unit. Literally the exact same thing. So, I think she's okay, but very easily replaceable. I would not, like, give SSR penance to her. Maybe making her UR, and that's it. Monspeed. Monspeed seemed much better than he actually is. He is alright. I would maybe bump him up to S tier if I saw a reason to, but he's pretty okay. Here's the definition of average. The new... Man, I forgot her name, but she's really good. She's really good for PvP, and that's it. But like on PvP, if you get lucky and you target the enemy Demon Meliodas, the enemy Demon Meliodas cannot do damage to you. So she can be very good for PvP, but problem is that only PvP. Her passive only works on PvP. That's why I'm actually putting her in S tier, just like Valenti. Same thing for Valenti. Red Bond, you can come here to the B tier. Nothing crazy. Just like this green Bond. On paper, he seems really good, but in actual like use, he's not that great. This guy from the Slime collab, I forgot his name. He's pretty bad. The red DN, she's alright. Again, no, she looks better on paper than she is actually playing. Gil Thunder, I was thinking of putting him on B tier, but I'm actually gonna put him on A tier. Gil Thunder can be so good with his taunt, so I'm actually putting him here. He's almost the same as DN, but DN's taunt is much better because Gil Thunder, if you use a level 1, he only taunts for 1 turn, so it's you know. Gillan, very bad. Gil is very bad. Red, Helbram, he's really good. I'm putting him in the SS tier. He's very, very good. Hauser, I'm actually putting him in the S tier. Hauser, with the release of Lilia, he's actually a super good unit with his farming and for PvP, but I still think he's not worthy of the SS tier. Maybe later, if I feel like he should. Red, Fat King, he can go to the A tier. He's actually pretty good, but nothing crazy, so pretty good on there. This is actually so sad because I summoned for this guy because I actually really wanted his costume. He can go to the C tier. He's so bad. He's pretty bad. And then Red Arthur can finish it off in the S tier. He's pretty good, but nothing extraordinarily overpowered. So for now, this is it. If you have anything that you think I should change, let me know in the comments. Again, SRs and Rs not in here just because I don't know, I can't. There are so many, there's just so many, but lots of SRs would be really good. Like notably, I would put Green Gil Thunder in SS tier. Like legitimately, I would put him in the SS tier. He's that good. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's it. See ya.